Okay, boys and girls, here we go. Our DAK IX is, for the most part, completed for our power conversion. We've got to do some work on his lamps before we deliver it. However, if you saw the video earlier, you saw we had a pretty good old DAK IX. It was in really good shape. Needed a bath inside. Needed some tuning. Some controls cleaned. But overall, this DAK IX actually is perfectly functional in every way on its own recognizances. Now, most of you guys, when you see a DAK in my shop, we're ripping the guts out of it. This one is still the original 9 chassis, and it works superbly. So we did not rip this one out. And we didn't stick another tube in here either. We were thinking about it. Instead, after talking to the owner, if you watch the video earlier, you see the whole explanation of what was going on. But in the end, what he agreed on doing, he wanted more power out of this old DAK. And his original thought was, okay, let's gut it and do it like we did, our DAK IX Hoop de Ville with the 6LQ6 tube. But after seeing how nice this radio was, first time in 35 years, I couldn't bring myself to gut this one. So this is what we ended up with. Inside, we cleaned it up, cleaned the tubes, checked the tubes. All the controls have been gone through. Power supply's been fixed. And then we got to the goodies. We custom built him a single 2SC 2290 board, custom heatsink inside his DAK. 30 amp power supply, and it is mounted right dead inside. Nothing sticking out the back except his standby switch for the 100 watt board. Now, he has the original, which is another thing, I don't think I've ever seen one, the original DAK desk mic. Well, the microphone is following traditional DAK behavior in the fact that it's cool looking, but it don't work worth a snot. So this is more of a showpiece than it is anything else. So we just didn't put any work into this. It's not worth it. So after getting it going, we wired our stubby D for it, and kind of a temporary deal. So let's check out the power. With the switch off, okay, and it's a 100 watt slug. You said 100 watt slug. Audio. It's about 15 watts of peak swing, and that's with the power module off. And we just flip the switch on, and then, oh Lord Jesus, here we go. Audio, 100 watts on the money. Very nice. About a 50 watt dead key, 100 watts of swing, PEP. It's doing 50 RMS all day long. And everything is inside. Everything is nice and neat. We actually, instead of just running the wires down into the top of that tuned cavity right there from the factory, we went through the sides of it and soldered our shields for the RG316 right to that shell, just like they had done originally. That's basically the ground for the RF output stage. So we move some stuff around, and input and output comes to the side of that and is soldered, the shield of the 316 soldered right to the case of the RF cavity. Here's our board, built in-house here at 419 Radios. This is we call it a Super Duty board because usually we're putting it in or on our Cobra 2000s. Mine has one. This is the new Super Duty 2 with our new chrome 10-turn counters and the whole 9 yards. This is the board that's in this radio. It's actually on the back. We do not use the RM Italy boards anymore. If you saw the video earlier, you heard me talking about it. The reason is the RM Italy board in real power, RMS wattage, only does 18 to 20 watts. Now, it swings in PEP an outrageous amount. They're like 60, 80, sometimes 90, 100, depending on how hard you're driving them. But they only get about 18 watts of RMS power. Ours gets 30 to 50 watts of RMS power and 100 plus of PEP almost all the time. Now, we've turned the power supply down a little bit. I'm only running this board and this radio at 13.8 volts, dead on the money what it should be. Normally, I'll run them up to 14.5, almost 15. In this radio, we didn't need to. Keep in mind, this is still the original tube type output. And anybody that knows anything about these radios knows if you go trying to play with dropping a carrier on this radio, it's going to become unstable. One of the reasons we did not gut this and build a whole new radio was that stage of this radio is intact, perfect. So, once again, I mean, rarely do you see one that works perfectly, guys, but get a gawk at this one because it does. And now he's got his optional 100 watts. I don't see how you could ask for a better DAC. So, this belongs to Godfather down by Champaign area, Champaign, Rantoul, Illinois area. And this is his. We're going to make him another little emblem for here. It's going to say Super DAK IX radio telephone, because that's basically what he's got now. And the rest of it we're leaving alone. No buttons to the front, no knobs to the front, no nothing. This radio hadn't had a drill taken to it since it was new, and I kind of cringed every time I did putting this conversion on it. But in the end, he got a very nice conversion. Okay, so if you're, most of the time, guys, DACs suck. It's like, they're just, as one guy called them, DeLoreans, they look great, but rarely do they run. Rarely do they work right. This one, it's a straight AM chassis, which gives it a better chance. Been loved. It's been well taken care of, so it was worth doing our conversion to. So, I hope the customer's happy with it. I think it's freaking phenomenal. And you guys got radios that you're tired of 10, 15, 20 watts of PEP and you want to start driving stuff with it, you need to give us a call. Super Duty and Turbo DX conversions are definitely the way to go. So there it is. Be safe, 7 3s.